Happy Wednesday, everyone, and happy fucking 2020. It is the first day of the year, and I'm here to tell you how to plan out 2020 so that you can actually make shit happen this year. Because my guess is that every year you have some goals, you have a New Year's resolution, you want to get healthier, you want to finally start that blog, you want to make time to read a book again. And then you do that for about 2 weeks, you stick to your goals, and then something happens. Your kid gets sick, your car breaks down, whatever. You get an unexpected bill in the mail from the hospital for something that happened 3 years ago. Whatever it is, I want you to actually make shit happen this year. So, in my experience, you make shit happen when you actually plan for shit to happen, okay? So, what I'm going to walk you through is what I did this year to make my plans. This is going to be a big year for me. I'm planning on quitting my job. I'm planning on moving to a whole different place, okay? So I really want to explain to you guys how I'm planning this, and hopefully this is helpful. So to start off, I have a worksheet that I created for you. So if you are interested in like really digging deep and getting into this, I've created a worksheet to help you plan your year. So if you're interested in that, hit pause, go ahead to the link below, and I want you to sign up for my email list and you'll get the free worksheet. It's a bit long, I'm going to be honest, but it takes quite a bit to plan a whole year, so I've literally broken it down for you in the worksheet so that you can follow along with what I'm about to tell you, and you can actually make shit happen. So, now that you've grabbed your worksheet, what I want you to do is start off by breaking down the main goals that you want to reach each month. So, for me, I broke down how many clients I want to take on each month and planning that around what I'll be doing for my job. So I plan to quit my job in April. So I know I can only take a few clients at a month in the first couple months out of the year. So I'm planning 1 or 2 clients a month before April. I'm also planning on getting a virtual assistant type job to help supplement my coaching income. And I'm planning on moving in June. So my goal here is to slowly bring on clients, bring on a virtual assistant position so that I can quit my job, and then I'll have a few months before I actually move so that the transition isn't happening all at once, okay? And then throughout the rest of the year, I'm planning on launching a course, launching a product, having my first retreat, and the end of the year we'll just be taking on a few more clients and closing out the year a little bit slowly because I love to enjoy the holidays, and I want to make sure when I'm making my plans I'm making room for what else I have going on in my life. So I know that one of my priorities, as we talked in a couple videos ago, my priorities are family. So when it's Thanksgiving, Christmas time, I don't want to be overworking. I want to make sure that I have the time to spend with my family. I want to spend the time enjoying the Christmas season because I love it. So, I want you to think about this as you start to plan your months. Choose like 1 or 2 main goals, such as maybe the first month you want to start a blog. So your first goal that month might be starting your website and creating 3 blog posts. You want to keep it simple. So once you have your months planned out, then as you go through the worksheet, I've broken down each month so that you can make actual action steps to make those goals in each month happen. Okay? So I'll keep using the blog example. You want to start a blog in February. So that means launching your website, let's say end of February. So that would look like in January, you write 1 blog post a week, okay? Or you do a video a week if you're more interested in videos. Maybe you are planning out an actual, this is how you're gonna break it down in each month. You're gonna break it down. Are you going to write your blog post a little bit every day of the week? So maybe plan out 20 minutes a day to write, or you're going to write it all at once. So plan on Sundays, you take 3 hours to write a blog post. So I want you to get really nitty gritty. What specifically needs to happen? Do you need to start posting on Instagram every day or every other day to get used to it? Then schedule that in. Schedule it in, because if you see it in your calendar, if you see it in your actual life, it's already planned in, then you already have the time for it. You're making the time for it, and then it's easier to actually do it when you've already scheduled it in. Okay? So, once you've planned out each month like that, you've broken it down into actionable steps. Then, the last part is you're going to figure out what's going to go wrong. Because as I said earlier in the video, shit's gonna go wrong. Your kid's gonna get sick. You're gonna break a leg and go to the hospital. Who fucking knows? But you know, during cold season, your kid's probably gonna get sick in January, February, and March. So I want you to make a plan. Do you have a backup babysitter? Do you have your parents nearby to watch your child so you can actually get your shit done? You want to have a backup plan, okay? So the next few pages in your workbook are breaking down what can go wrong, how you're going to deal with it, so when it happens, you already know what you're going to do, and it's not stressful, and you don't have to give up what you're actually going to do. Okay, so I know you can't predict everything, but the key here is to be prepared for things to go wrong, because they will, and having a way around and not letting it take over your life. Don't let things like your car breaking down sidetrack your entire life. It doesn't have to. I know those things are tough. I've had my car break down. Kyle and I had to buy a new fucking truck this year because his truck shit the bed. So we worked around it, and I still kept up with my business, with my posting, with my blog post. I still kept up with it, okay? So I want you to really commit like that. This takes commitment. So if these goals are something you truly want to happen, you must commit now, get it in the schedule, and get prepared for things to try to mess you up, because they will. So this is what makes the difference between someone who's successful and someone who's not. It's that someone who's successful sticks with it even when life gets in the way. They stick with it. It might look different. You might do something a little shorter that week. Maybe it's a shorter blog post. Okay, but you must stay consistent. This is what makes a difference. This is what makes you successful, is by continuing to get shit done when life gets in the way. So, that's the end of the worksheet, but I'll assure you, I've broken it down quite a bit more in the worksheet, but I want to make sure that it's clear. Hold on, I'm looking at my notes so I don't forget to say something important. I want to be clear. In your monthly goals, stretch a little, okay? So put something in there that doesn't seem quite possible, right? So one of my goals is to have my retreat, and I've never had a retreat before. It's fucking scary, but I put it in there, put it in October, so I have 9 months to plan this retreat, and I know I can. It feels like a stretch. I'm scared that people aren't going to sign up to come to New Hampshire. I'm scared that I'm not going to have the money to renovate the area that we need to renovate in order to have a space for the retreat. But I'm stretching myself. And the truth is, it might not happen how I think it's going to happen. Maybe I don't need to save up $4,000 to make the renovations. Maybe somehow $4,000 will come to me in some other way. The truth is, we can't always make the best goals because we don't know the best possible scenario. How many times have you heard someone who's uber successful who says, I never thought it would happen this way, right? They made their goals, they worked towards what they thought would be successful, and it happened differently. It happened better. It happened in a way that was so unexpected but amazing, but they were putting the energy out there. That's the thing. The universe knows better than we do. But when we're putting energy into our goals, when we're putting our energy out there, it comes back. Okay? So your energy will go there and the universe will say, oh, this is what they want. This is what they want. Let me lead them. So when you're making these stretch goals, realize that you need to work towards them, but they might not happen, or they might not happen the way you expected. And one thing I heard from this woman named Sahara Rose, if you're interested in following her on Instagram, it's I am Sahara Rose. And one thing that she said that I love is rejection is redirection. And that is so true, okay? An example, maybe something didn't work out with a boyfriend you had in the past and you were really, really bummed that he broke up with you, and it sucked because breakups suck, right? But then the next man you met ended up being your husband, okay? That rejection happened because there was something better out there for you, and we just aren't always able to see that in the moment. So when you get rejected, or when one of your goals doesn't happen exactly the way you thought, or maybe it was a failure, remember, rejection is redirection. That wasn't supposed to happen because something better is on the way, okay? And again, as I said, if you keep working towards these goals, if you keep pushing towards these goals, something will happen and it's going to be amazing. But the key is to keep consistently working at it and keep putting your energy out there, keep putting yourself out there, and it'll come back, I promise. Okay? So that is all I have to tell you about breaking down your goals and breaking them into actionable steps and preparing for what's going to go wrong. And lastly, since I'm into spiritual stuff and I like tarot, I actually did a tarot New Year ritual so that I could reflect on this past year, look at what I learned, and look at what I want for the next year. So I did some journaling, I pulled some tarot cards to help me dig deeper with the journaling and to look at what I want to call in, what I want to do. And with the tarot cards, I was able to let go of some things, let go of what happened this past year, things that weren't serving me, and what I want to leave behind when it goes into 2020. So I also pulled a card for each month, and I'm able to see in the future what I can look out for in each month so that I can make sure that I'm continuing to work on my goals and I'm prepared for any blocks that might happen. So I'm going to include after this video a little bit of my ritual so you can see what I did with the tarot. And I broke down this worksheet because this is exactly what I did to plan my next year. I broke down each month with my main goals, and then I broke it down into actionable steps, very specific. That's the key here. You want to get specific about what you need to do so that you can make it happen and you can schedule it, because the key here is making the time before all the crap that will show up shows up, because it will. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit subscribe or like it, and if you're interested in learning more about me, head on over to shewhocan.com and you can learn more how you can work with me if you want to have help this year. This is a big year and I want to help you make this shit happen, and you need help. You need guidance, okay? Because it's going to take way longer for you to figure it out on your own than it would be for me to tell you how to get to where you want to go. You want to start a blog? Well, yeah, you could figure that out yourself. I promise you can, but it could take years for you to know exactly what to do when I could just tell you what to do. So if you're interested in working with me, you can find that all on shewhocan.com. If you just want to work through this worksheet, the link is below to sign up to get the worksheet. I promise it's worth it, and I want to see you be super successful this year, because 2020 is big, and if you start 2020 well, I guarantee that momentum is going to follow 2021, 2022. We're looking ahead, people. This decade is going to be amazing, and I want you to make shit happen. I want to make you get to your dream house. I want you to have your kids, a family. I want you to make the goals that you're imagining for your life happen this year, this decade, and it all starts now. You cannot wait any longer to make these things happen, because waiting, it's not going to just come to you. It will not be dropped in your lap. You must make it happen. Allow for flexibility in the universe because, as I said before, it could be better than you ever imagined, but we just don't have the capacity to see what's better than we imagined, right? So, I hope this helped you, and I'll talk to you next week. Talk to you later. I release myself of fear. I release myself of old patterns that tell me to withhold love and close off my heart. I release myself of worrying about what might happen when I put myself out there. I release myself of worrying what people might think when I'm marketing myself and my business and truly being my authentic self between the side of me that hunts, my spirituality. I release myself of my ego. I release myself of overwhelm, limiting beliefs, and pressure I put on myself. I release myself of low vibration thoughts, shame spirals, resentment towards Kyle, jealousy of other women doing and trying to do the same thing as me. I release myself of the judgments I have about other people and myself. I release myself of the fear that things or entities are out to get me. I release myself of the need to do everything. I release myself of the walls and boundaries that I've created that are not serving me. I release myself of what's holding me back from my big dreams I want to manifest. I release myself of the fear that's holding me back from getting my clients to work with me. I give thanks for this past year. I release what no longer serves me, and I welcome new opportunities with open arms. I give thanks for this past year. I release what no longer serves me, and I welcome new opportunities with open arms. I give thanks for this past year, and I release what no longer serves me. I welcome new opportunities with open arms.